Self-confidence is being comfortable with yourself.
When I think of self-confidence, I just think of someone being sure of themselves and just really believing in what they're doing.
Self-confidence is how you represent yourself in uncomfortable situations.
You have to project confidence.
Confidence is knowing to the full extent what you can and can't do.
Not caring what other people think about you.
When I think of self-confidence, I think of not worrying what other people think about you and just being comfortable in your own skin.
It's being comfortable with me.
If you don't have self-confidence, then obviously, you're just going to go in thinking you failed. And you think you've already lost, then you're fighting to lose a battle.
Society says if you're a man and you cry, you're weak.
It's superficial. They think masculinity comes from, people on TV.
What you see in a magazine every day.
I'd say it's defined by society.
They think society wants them to be that way.
I feel like a lot of people get it from media.
Society and peer pressure kind of pushing my inner beauty down.
Defined by media, masculinity would be what you see in a magazine every day. Those guys who are perfectly cookie-cutter shapes of what everybody wants to be because they think society wants them to be that way.
The way society's made it out to be is that it's that strong, muscular type person that doesn't cry or doesn't really show emotion and acts tough.
They're like, oh, he's all muscle beach, like he's sexy, blah, blah, blah. And you want to be that guy because you're seeing all those other girls who are appreciative of that, but you see a guy who's just normal and they're like, whatever, they don't even look twice.
I think masculinity is all about how you carry yourself. It's got nothing to do with, where you're from, what you done been through, what everybody calls you, or anything else. It's just how you handle yourself, how you carry yourself in life.
Depending on your parents, I think that can be a factor, but personally I don't think my parents really stressed any of that. I don't think they were worried about gender roles and things. I mean, I used to cook with my mom and stuff like that. He'd say what probably isn't too masculine. But
Emotion is something that men don't show.
Obviously, society teaches men to be less emotional.
Emotions are to be kept inside and you're not to talk about it.
Crying and men kind of don't mix, and especially where I'm from, it's like shows weakness.
A lot of people look at it as not being a man if you do so. So a lot of times I think guys bottle that up because they're afraid of what people are going to say or do in response to it.
Society says if you're a man and you cry, you're weak. You're not a man. That doesn't make you a man or whatever.
I think it is okay, to talk about feelings and, what you're going through as a human being.
There's nothing wrong with crying.
I think crying's alright.
I think it's perfectly acceptable to cry when, not only funerals and all that, just when a time comes.
There's nothing wrong with crying. It helps. I mean, crying is a healing process for you. Society
views people, men especially, that cry on certain things. I feel like they think it's, inferior, weak. And the whole media and all that, it plays into it. But I feel like it's perfectly acceptable, obviously you're going to determine if you should cry or not. I think it's fine, to be honest.
I don't want people to see me crying just because it lets them into me. It's letting down my shield and letting my comfort zone come down.
But I don't know, I've kind of overcome some of my issues that I have with that, and in the right time, the right person, however seldom it is, I will admit I have cried before.
We ask you what you would think of a guy when a guy cries. What?
If I see a guy being emotional, to me, that lets me know that he's okay with who he is.
It's a very sweet thing. It shows that they can not only just repress things, they can kind of let things out, they can kind of help others.
I think that it is a good thing if guys can cry and show emotion, because I think it means that they're self-confident, and I think it means that they're in tune with who they really are.
I mean, it makes him a human being. I mean, it makes him real, and it makes him honest, and it makes you want to connect with that person.
It's very attractive.
It's kind of a breath of fresh air.
I think it's a great thing. It shows you how you can relate through their emotions.
I think true masculinity is being in touch with your emotions and being able to, share them and cry or laugh. And I think that's very, very attractive.
It means that he's like letting his guard down, that he's not afraid to show me who he really is.
And I think that's, one of the most self-confident masculine things a guy can do.
Yeah, I've definitely dealt with self-confidence issues in the past, and I think I still deal with them today.
I'm sexy, yeah, and I know it. I work out.
Whoa, babe!